Goodness, 8:02. What are you doing? You're getting late, kid. Move, kid. Oh my gosh. It is the 15th of June, 2021. This show comes to you each and every weekday at about this same time. Look at that. There's a beam of sunlight from the blinds going right to my face. This show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. Baldwin Ace Hardware in the Northland, a beacon of DIY awesomeness. Okay? Again, show comes to you from the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker Studio. It is the 15th of June, 2021. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now.
This is Zaniac Joe Pellerito.
And Danny Pellerito.
E-Z-S-P! E-Z-S-P! It's the Eric Zane Show podcast. Give me an E.
E.
Give me a Z.
Z.
Give me a S.
S.
Give me a P.
P.
What's that spell?
Espa.
What's that spell?
Espa.
All right, listen. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast show. Yeah, that's what it is. Please welcome Mr. Eric Zane.
Wow. Look at that. Enough. We're off and running again. Off and running again for, boy, how many is this now? Just over 600 shows. Stupid. If it ended now, it would be a huge success. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate the time. I appreciate you visiting me. The days that I keep my gratitude higher than my expectations, I have very good days. Thank you, Ray Wiley Hubbard. It's right on my brain. Hello to you all. I see Josh is here. Tyler, Adam, the usual suspects. Trevor, I think, is he always has these this flowery language when he greets me. Sweet baby Zane, he says, you Armenian prince. Oh, my God. Kenny says, today already feels like Monday, round 2, blah, morning. Oh, you can't start with that type of attitude. You got to fake it till you make it, son. Come on. Derek wondering, where are you? He wrote, there you are. Good morning, because it was like 8:02 and I hadn't yet gotten after it. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. Push the snooze one extra time today, but no big deal. Took an extra melatonin. Okay, as I slowly wean myself off of the prednisone to filter out the damn poison ivy from my body. The prednisone is an unbelievably powerful drug. I took 3 yesterday morning, and I just realized I haven't yet taken my dosage today. And that's going to be a problem, because that means that I'm going to get it into my system later than I'm used to. The 3 pills that I have to take today was taking 6 to get rid of this stupid poison ivy. But, okay, so that means that late taking of it, I hope that doesn't mess with me, because I've been taking it usually about 7:15 a.m. my time with food. You don't take it with food, it'll make you sick. You'll start barfing. It just upset your stomach. You don't want that. But I forgot to take the damn thing today. Damn it. I just realized that. That's terrible. So, okay, I took it yesterday, the 3, and then, it's bedtime last night. And I'm like, okay, now I've been weaning myself off of it. Every 2 days, 1 less pill until I'm down to 0. And then I can be done with this. Thank God. Looking good. Everything's pretty much faded away. But I'm a big do what the doctor says guy. Okay. And when Amy Boone, the PA, physician's assistant, tells me, Eric, take all the medicine. Do what you're told. I do it. I don't ever do it until I just feel better and then stop taking it. I just take it. I do what she says. So if she says take all the medicine, I'm going to take all the damn medicine. But I feel great. I feel fine. I could just stop it, but there's method to the madness. Okay, they don't want to just make you stop taking it. That can be a problem. So I got to finish taking the damn medicine. So I got to see this through. So last night, I'm like, I'm going to take 3, count them, 3 melatonin. I had been taking 2. 3 seems to be the magic number, because it was unbelievable. Now, I've never really ever taken melatonin, but I know people who swear by it. They're like, oh, my God. So I took the third one, and it put me into a different stratosphere when it comes to sleep. I had a radio dream last night. I couldn't tell you exactly what happened in it, but I know in the dream I was back in Knoxville, Tennessee. And some of my favorite memories in radio happened back in Knoxville, Tennessee. By the way, I cannot focus until I fix this fucking sign. This TC paintball sign is crooked, and it's messing with my head. Are you one of those people that when you see something crooked or weird, it just messes with you? Like, see this sign here? This is crooked too. The dumpster divers sign. I can't take it. Now they're probably going to move during the show. Like this one's crooked too, and then this one's crooked. But, this is kind of like a poverty setup here. It's a little ghetto. There's no mistaking that. But I wouldn't have it any other way. All right. Every one of those is probably going to move by the time I get done with this show. So I had a damn dream about, something to do with Tennessee, and I was with Billy Kidd again. Billy died a handful of months ago. It's my old radio partner back in the day. And so I've been having recurring dreams about Billy. And I don't know. It's really weird. But in this one, I couldn't tell you exactly what was going on. I just know I was in Tennessee trying to restart a radio career, which I'm not going to lie to you. I've had many people that in the circles that I run with say, why do you contemplate such a thing? And I'm like, I don't know. I think when it's been a part of your life for as long as it has mine, and then you're suddenly out of it, and yes, you still do talk every day, but I can't tell you what it is. I can't. I have no idea. Not that it means anything. It's just for some reason it nags at me. It's like, come on, because when I talk to Carl from time to time on Who Are These Podcasts, he's like, why do you even bother? I mean, it's like, I go, I don't know. By the way, I just realized as I look at the video that the time that I took moving signs around has made them actually more crooked now than what they were. Idiot. All right. Speaking of Who Are These Podcasts, I will be on that show, not this coming weekend, but we will record the following weekend. What does that fall on? The 24th? Let's see, June 2021. It will be actually, I will record on the 26th to be published on the 27th on Who Are These Podcasts. I'm going to try to not screw this up because the first time I was on that show, it was a hit. It worked out. I was a first-time host, and typically first-time hosts get murdered. I was not killed. All you want to do is just be accepted. And I was actually accepted. And I did a fair enough job that they could say, all right, you passed the sniff test. Very, very finicky audience, And so now it's my sophomore effort. Sophomore jinx. Am I going to fuck this up? I'm hoping not, because if I can get over for yet another episode of Who Are These Podcasts, that means they'll have me back again. If they can have me, every time I'm in front of more people, that is a win for the Eric Zane Show podcast. Okay, a little side story concerning podcasting. I with this new platform that I just signed up with, one of the things that they offer in their little infrastructure that they didn't offer on my last platform, which was known as Audio Boom, the new platform allows you to interact very easily with other shows on their platform. And what they do is they have like this setup where you reach out to them and say, hey, I'd like to cross-promote my show on your show. Okay, so this show called Sips, Suds, and Smokes. Wait a minute. Sips, Smokes, and Suds or something. I don't know. It's a show that they review liquor, beer, and cigars. They reached out to me and said, we want to, we'll put ads on your show before the show gets started. Like if anybody were listening to the show on the audio podcast, they would hear an ad for Sips, Suds, and Smokes. Hey, I'm good old boy somebody, and I'm good old boy. We talk, this is what we talk about. It's like a 1-minute ad. You just listen to it, and then my show starts. So what that does is it introduces their show to new people, which is my audience, and then I am introduced to their audience, too. And that's how it works. It's very simple to do, too. It's a really nice setup in order to do that. Easy to manipulate. So that's great. So they reached out to me, and so you agree to a few things. It's a very simple deal, and now they indicated to me that they were a big show, and now I've had people say that to me before, and I'm always like, yeah, whatever. I don't care as long as I get in front of people. It doesn't matter to me how big. To me, it all works out. And there's a little status bar under each of our names. Now, the status bar has to do with number of people their ad has been introduced to, like has hit ears. So as soon as we start the campaign, their status bar about my ad appearing on their show is instantly full. Under my name, the amount of people that have heard their ad is about a third full. Now, at the time, I didn't know what that meant. But what that meant was it took like half a second and 34,000, that was the number that was supposedly part of the nomenclature or the algorithm or whatever. 34,000 is the number of people that supposedly will be introduced to the Eric Zane Show podcast with an ad that I record where I go, hey, how you doing? This is Eric Zane, and I'm introducing you to the Eric Zane Show podcast where I do this. And it's me doing a promotional announcement for me. And it appears on their show. So, but what I don't know, because I've never done this before, is like I thought that it would be like on their latest episode, okay, which came out like Friday. So I clicked on their Friday episode, and I don't hear anything. I don't hear my voice. So I'm like, hey, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on there? And because I know that they're all over my episodes. So, to be completely transparent with you, 2,000 people a day listen to my show. So that's why the status bar is moving so slowly under my name. So their ad hits 2,000 people, 2,000. It takes time for 34,000 people to listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast. Okay? Because as the episodes update, you get that many more downloads. The second they click, yes, we agree to this promotional announcement, right away, everybody and their mother hears my ad. But I'm not aware of that. I think that I'm getting ripped off. So I'm like, hey, what's going on? Hey, and they're like, I don't know what to tell you, man. So I was a little bit confused. So I reached out to the people at this platform that I work with now, and they go, yeah, and they explained it to me. And I said, can you dumb this down and explain this to an idiot? What? And so now I know because I'm telling you because I figured it out because they've told me. But this show called Sips, Suds, and Smokes is gigantic, and I had no idea. They produce a show once a week for 1 hour, and 2 million people listen to it. 2 million people. So the ad of me saying, hey, listen to the Eric Zane Show podcast. They have all these different spots on old episodes where they can insert my ad. In an instant, my ad is heard by 34,000 people, which means that there's no need, because they've already fulfilled their end of the obligation. There's no more, it's not going to put me on the latest ad because it's already fulfilled in an instant. 34,000 people hear this fucking thing. I've never heard of this show in my life. And I listen back. I mean, I don't, what do I care about cigars, hard liquor, and beer? Nothing. So I mean, it just goes, I guess it's the bigger point is podcasting has a niche for everybody. All right. And the fact that you have this show for an hour, they talk about this sort of shit, and 2 million listens a week on this show, and they're basically just whipping it together, and they're fucking bigger than you. Like, this is a top 50 show in the United States. It's in the world, actually, a top 50 show. 2 million listens a fucking week. Now that ain't Joe Rogan, who's probably 100 million, but who gives a fuck? 2 million. These fuckers. And here I am grinding it out every hours and hours a day, every day, in my little status bar to get them their 34,000 listens of audience members to hear the Sips, Suds, and Smokes podcast. It's just going to take me a year or whatever. No, it'll take me a month or so, maybe a little less, to get to their 34,000 ads. It just goes to show you, It's a weird world, podcasting. And I'm not saying any one show is better than the other. No clue. But then I realized the error of my ways, that no one's ripping me off. And then I sent a message to these guys at Sip Suds and Smokes. And I went, look, this is my ignorance here. I have no idea. I had no idea the size of your show, even though they did indicate to me that they were a very popular show. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I never heard of you. I don't give a shit. You're not Mark Maron, so I don't know. It's a big-ass show that I'm introduced to them, to their audience, with my little ad that says, hey, you're listening to the Eric Zane Show, or check me out. But, oh, my God, it was a little embarrassing. I guess the point is, after this promotional announcement runs out for Sip, Suds, and Smokes, I'll be reaching out to other shows. And that's how you kind of build your audience within this platform, is this little promotional announcement that you have on these other shows. So you'll be hearing about, whatever show that there is. All I have to do is agree to another promotion with them. It's really quite simple. But my God, I was a little bit worried about how I was looking, because I thought I was getting ripped off for a time there. Okay, I already have gotten ahead of myself. This show, as you know, is downloadable on all the audio platforms, as I indicated there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, CastBox, you name it. All there. You can download the audio podcast. Thank you very much. If you could, subscribe, rate, and review to it. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. It's brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you would, like it and share that thing. Thank you so much. We've got a live audience as I do this show right now, who are sharing messages with each other. Trevor says, I remember when Eric did a radio interview with a station in Grayling, Michigan to promote the podcast, and the lady interviewing him said, most people up here have no idea what a podcast is. LOL. Well, it does happen. All right. Jason says, I might have to check out that one. I'm assuming you're talking about Sip, Suds, and Smokes. Let's see here. I listened to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show episode of Who Are These Podcasts, and I couldn't stomach the way they were praising Joe. Yeah, a little inside info on that one. By the way, I had nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. I never had... Shit, it was a surprise when I found out I was being reviewed on that. But when they do their Jocktober show, they review radio shows. And so when that happened, I was like, oh, God, everybody's going to think that I'm responsible for this. In fact, Carl said, will you be on the episode to rip them a new one? I said, no, I won't. I cannot be on that. I don't want anything to do with that, because, I just want to keep it above board. I don't want anything to do with them in any way, shape, or form. I just keep it cool. We're cool. I'll just say that. Are we buddies? Are we friends? Are we hanging out? Absolutely not. Are we cool? Yeah. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. Nobody's done anything to piss anybody off. If there was any butt hurt, I forget that shit. Of course there has been. Of course. But does it do me any good to worry about that? Fuck no. Fuck it. It's totally different. They're fine. I'm fine. Everybody's working hard trying to make a better life for themselves. So that's it. All right. What was I going to say about that? Oh, God, I had another thought, too. It left me. Okay. My Facebook comment section is messed up. It's not updating like it usually does. Anyone else, Stevie says. She is on YouTube right now. You can watch the show on YouTube as well. We're live there. If you could, subscribe to the channel Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Bell notification, thumbs up. And then a Periscope video on Twitter that's brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Retweet the Periscope video with a snarky comment, and that would be spectacular. Thank you so much. Email me anytime, eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner Striping inbox. Shoreliner Striping. Here's what these guys do, okay? During hockey season, they ref, all right? High-level reffing. These aren't like ham and eggers. These are American Hockey League referees who have a regular schedule of American Hockey League games. All right, the second greatest hockey league in the world. And then during the off season, they stripe parking lots. Okay, they got this big machine. Shoreliners. I guess that's kind of like blue liners, maybe. I'm not even sure about that. But they also have, they also sweep parking lots. They sweep them with this big device, big machinery, and then they stripe them, and they also stripe athletic fields. If you need any information about these things, Shoreliners, all one word, SHORELINERS, ShorelinersStriping.com. Make sure of that. ShorelinersStriping.com. Okay. I see that Michael Ball is enjoying the show. Okay. And I need to talk with you about this because I have an update. We are 124 days till October 17. Last week, I reluctantly started training for the October 17th Grand Rapids Half Marathon against Michael Ball. Longtime friend. He's also a business ally and has supported the show with his company, MB Distributing. He peddles Little Debbie snacks. So if you are in West Michigan, you see Little Debbie set up at Meijer. He set it up. Okay, he deals with the store. When you buy it, it makes him. It helps him. So buy his Little Debbie snacks. There you go. We got after it, and somehow we fell upon a race challenge. I don't know how this started, and I never back down from these. I'm a very, very stubborn individual. Yeah, hell yeah, I'll race you. It doesn't matter who you are. I'll friggin' race you. Okay. We're just over 16 weeks out from the October 17th Grand Rapids Half Marathon. Mike is in what's right now known as a taper week. He is recovering from a lot of hard work and getting ready for a race this weekend, Sunday, the Grand Rapids Triathlon Half Iron Distance event. So he's in great shape. Mike is telling me about his goals. And, right now, if we were to race, it wouldn't even be close. Now, he's at a level of fitness that is, of course, swimming, biking, and running. And that's great. That is really, really strong. And I have let myself go like you wouldn't believe. But last week, I somehow got some momentum and was able to complete an entire week of training, which is huge for me. I haven't done 6 days of training, with Sunday being the day off, in forever. I still eat like shit. Eat whatever the hell I want. Last night I polished off some ice cream. I had some Chex Mix, toast with butter and jelly, chicken. All these things in one sitting. Just the oddest combination. My God. But I did get the training in. I did actually get training in yesterday. I had my Monday is the day that I do what's known as threshold work. Mile repeats at threshold. Somebody like, what does that even mean? It's boring. All you need to know is that threshold time per mile varies depending on your fitness. And right now, my fitness is shit. I'm lucky to be able to get a mile done in 8 minutes a mile. Mike could very easily probably do an entire, his goal for this Grand Rapids Half Iron is to do the whole 13.1. Again, he's got to swim 1.2? Yeah, 1 point. He swims 1.2 miles, gets out of the water, rips off his wetsuit, gets on the bike, pedals for, how far is it? 55 miles. Gets off the bike after a couple hours, hangs it up, and then he runs a half marathon. And he's going to run this thing sub 8 minutes a mile. That's his goal. And I don't doubt him. He's going to be able to pull that off. I, right now, would be lucky. I'm lucky to be under 8 minutes for 1 mile. Okay? We're 18 weeks out. What the fuck? How's that going to work? I don't know. I have no idea. As David Lee Roth once said, I don't know. I don't try to look too far ahead. I'm just worried about what's going on today. Mike's sitting there saying he's going to rub my nose in shit. This is going to be a charity event for the AT Children's Project. This is a fundraiser. More details on that this week on how you can help out. You're going to be picking a winner between us. All I'm doing right now is giving you the lay of the land. So yesterday, all I have to do is a 1 mile warm-up on the track and then do 1 mile, stand there for 2 minutes and do another mile and go home. That's it. This is how far the gap is between us. This fucker is going to hold 8 minutes, sub 8 minutes, probably closer to 7:45 for 13.1 after a 55-mile bike ride where he's ripping it using the exact opposite muscle groups, which is not easy. That's the thing about triathlon. You get off a 55-mile bike ride and you're using your moneymaker, your ass and your hamstrings and your calves. And then you get off the bike and immediately work the opposite muscle group, and it's like getting shot in the ass with an arrow. It's fucking horrible. But if you've worked, it should take you about a half mile before you shake out the cobwebs and you're back. That's where this fucking idiot is. And I am on a track in Hudsonville, Michigan with my fat gut flying, trying to get sub 8 minute mile. So yesterday it was a strong wind coming out of the north. Lap 1. As soon as I get around the bend at the start, the wind is at my back. Feel good. I'm not even looking at my stopwatch. I don't want to look at it. I want to try to pace myself. I get in the front stretch, that lap 1, wind right in my teeth. It's like, oh, fuck, this is terrible. Feel like I'm running in quicksand. Lap 2, same thing. Get to the half mile mark. Look at my stopwatch. I'm at about 4:06. 4:06 for a half mile. And I'm like, I'm not even at threshold. I'm way beyond that. I'm working way harder than I need to be. Like, this is terrible. Holy shit. You're dead. I make it to the last 2. I look at that stopwatch. I held the pace. I finished at 8:12. I stopped. That's the end of the mile. That's the end of the interval. Then you stand, look, and then you have 2 minutes recovery. Standing there going, I'm so fucked. I'm fucked. 2 minutes goes by, start it again. This is the last thing I got to do. I get done with the half. I'm at 4:01. All right. I am running faster. I don't know. Maybe just muscles loosened up a little bit. You get that when you're in this poor of shape, wild fluctuations in time. When you're not in shape, you'll do that. You don't have any idea. You're pacing. You're just shitty. Everything sucks. You are not a fine-tuned machine. If you're that much quicker, you're doing it wrong. You're just a mess. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. I end up getting that second mile done in 7:58. I somehow put it together to be sub 8, but I was like, So, 14 seconds difference is stupid. It shouldn't be that much of a difference. It should be that first one should have been faster. It's just, there is no good news with that. Okay. So then I'm like, God, this guy is gonna be faster than both of those miles for the entire half marathon leg of the Grand Rapids Triathlon. And I'm supposed to be able to beat him in just over 16 weeks, October 17th at the Grand Rapids Half Marathon. Holy fuck. What have I done? This is embarrassing. Matt, happy birthday to you. Matt in beautiful Scranton, PA. What is up? Mike says, I'd kick his ass in an eating competition, too. That's the thing, Mike. If you weren't such an idiot, you'd be great. Holy shit. Actually, for what you did at Greenville, that was a hell of an effort. Number one in your age group, maybe you're finally understanding that if you are a little smarter about this, you can actually crush. I'm taking a look, though. Mike, the last time we actually raced was 2016, the Grand Rapids Triathlon. Now, that course is way different than the Chattanooga course, which you just did a couple of months ago. Same distance, half iron distance. You're not really slower at all. You're the same, about the same time for those two races. And so, typically people get slower when they get older. You appear to not be slower. But interesting. I think if you would quit fucking around, you would be a hell of a lot faster. And this is what I mean by that. And I'm going to do the screen share here, and then you all can see, and I will explain to you, you people, what is going on here. Here you go. Michael Ball. This is almost 5 years ago to the day. All right. Mike did 5 hours and 20 minutes, 17 seconds. He did about the same time at Chattanooga a couple of weeks ago. Now, what we'll do is we'll compare this time from 5 years ago, Grand Rapids Triathlon. As soon as the weekend finishes, we will go back and compare how Mike has done in these two races. Now, I can tell you right now, Mike is going to be faster in Sunday's race. First of all, because I'm talking about it now. And there's some glaring problems with this race 5 years ago, which, by the way, there's no way I would be able to even fucking swim half of the distance right now. Mike I am not a triathlete right now at all. I don't think ever will be again. But it is worth noting that I beat the shit out of him in this race. I was about, I think, 5:02 in this race. In fact, I did 5:02:05. You can't see it right now, but I'm looking at it, and I can't hit the screen share right now. But Mike was 5:20:17. I finished this race in 5 hours, 2 minutes, and 5 seconds. Here's the problem, though, with Mike. All right, on the swim, not terrible. 36:06, a little pokey. I did it in 33 minutes, no big deal. But still, that's a solid swim coming out of the water. Here's the problem that Mike encountered. Now, see this number here overall? Out of the water, there was 120 people ahead of Mike out of the water. But still, it's not bad. Here's where this fucking dummy gets in the weeds. See where it says T1? For those of you who don't know, what you do is you swim your ass off, and then this stands for transition 1. That's when you run back to where your bike is, and you rip off your little wetsuit, and you throw on your helmet, you grab your bike, and you go. If this takes any more than 2 minutes, you're a fucking asshole, okay? Your old pal Eric did 1 minute and 46. In fact, there was only 22 people in the 1,000 or so in this fucking race that did it faster than me. I always crush the fucking transitions. That's where you make up huge amounts of time. But if you're a fat dick, it takes you 5 minutes and 23 seconds. Look at this. 5 minutes and 23 seconds for this stupid gorilla to get out of transition 1. Oh, my God. What an abortion. 347 people got out of transition. Yeah, the whole fucking race is good. It's not a parade, asshole. Don't sit there and eat Little Debbie's for 5 minutes and 23 seconds, you fucking idiot. How? Oh, my God. So are you telling me you work your ass off for months and months and months, hours a week, to then go and read a book for 5 minutes and 23 seconds in transition 1? Get your fucking ass in gear. when I look at this time on Monday on this show, it better be under 2 minutes, dick. There is no excuse in this race for you to rip off your wets. And you know what they do at that race? They have what's called a suit ripper. You get out of the water, you throw yourself onto the ground, and somebody Andy Dowks rips the fucking suit off you. You don't even have to do it yourself. They hand it to you, and then you run your ass off to your bike, throw on your helmet, and go. 5:23, you dick. What the fuck do you think you are? Okay. He puts in a pretty quick 2:47.47 on the bike. He gets 55 miles. He makes up some time. There's only 151 people that are faster than him on the bike. That's just over 20 miles an hour. Of course, your old pal Eric Zane did it in 21.3, lickety split. I did it in 2 hours, 37 minutes, 50 seconds. So that I added on another 10 minutes of time to the ass kicking. The race was over between Mike and I. Well, technically out of the water because I was 3 minutes ahead of him. And then he sat and picked his asshole in transition one like the dick that he is. And then there was another 10 minutes of time as I beat the shit out of him on the bike course again, like I did every time I got on the bike. And then what does Mike do in transition two? Another 3 minutes of ass picking. Oh my God. Now transition two, all you have to do is get off your bike, take off your helmet, jump into your little running shoes, and go. That's it. And then it's uncomfortable, it's painful, but there is grab your running belt, and then that's it. That took me 2 minutes and 9 seconds. Mike's sitting there for another minute. If you add it up, just the time in transition, and you're looking at upwards of, this should have taken him 4 minutes. T1 and T2 should have taken him 4 minutes. It took him almost 8.5 minutes. Actually a little bit more than 8.5 minutes. That is a huge bulge of time. My God. And then all of that, he has look at this run. This is a great run. An hour, 47:50. So all of the work that he does is wasted in his transitions. Oh my God, you dick. Because you wanted to sit there and be fat in T1 and T2. You have all this fitness wasted there. For what? Mike, yes, we are talking about 2016. Mike, I hope to God you have eliminated that habit of being fat in transition. No more. You have worked too hard to be that much of a dickhead in transition. Jesus. Man. So hopefully I'm counting. Look, you won't do it now because I've pointed out to the world what you need to do to be faster. Okay? You eliminate that shit. If you're in all that hard work, if you're going to run 7:45 a mile on a leg three of a half iron triathlon, don't be screwing around in transition, dick. Jeez. Holy crap. Okay. Now, here's where I have a window of opportunity. Mike Ball knows that if by some miracle I am able to kick his ass at the Grand Rapids Half Marathon, he will never, ever be able to live that down. There is no way in hell I will let that happen. Ever. Okay? If I somehow come all the way back and rub his little Debbie face in dog shit, I'll never let up. I will go to extremes to make sure he never, ever forgets it. Okay? After this race Sunday, like I said, he's doing what's known as a taper right now. That's when you let your fitness come back to you. You train a small percentage of what you used to, and then you get stronger. You get a little bit less fit, but you make up for it because you've gained all of your strength back. And then you race. You bust your ass. You leave it out there in the course, and it hurts like hell, and then you recover. He's taking 9 days off to go to Hawaii. Okay? You have apparently purchased enough Little Debbie products to get his fat ass to take his fucking family off to Hawaii. And he is not going to train at all. He's going to lose that fitness. All right. While Eric sits there and slogs away with his fat tits running around the Hudsonville track. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be caught up to it. It won't. But he says, I feel confident enough I can let you have that fitness and I can let go of mine for that amount of time. I'm like, all right, fucker. Thank you. I appreciate that. Go for it. I want you to eat. I want you to drink. I don't want you to do anything. In fact, take that 9 days and make it 20 days. Go ahead. Do all that shit. Relax. You got it made. Okay? Got 124 days till October 17th. In fact, right about now is the start of the race. 124 days, almost exactly from right now, we will be starting the Grand Rapids Half Marathon. I can't wait. All right. 1 day closer. My gosh. Today, Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia happens at 10:30 my time here in Michigan. Dale will take on Pete S. Looking forward to that. That is on Patreon. I think Dale won last time. I think we got a $50 game in store. Pete taking on Dale. We have Dear Meathead tomorrow on the show. Get your questions in. Send them along. Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I am excited about our Father's Day extravaganza at my dad's house. Not sure who is going. I know I will be going. Diana will be going. Madison. And I think that's it. Father's Day extravaganza bringing Shish Kebab Bar to my dad's. Oh, and World Book Jim is going to be there, supposedly. And his lovely better half, Sandy, and their kids. So, yeah, this is great. Just like old times at dad's. Okay. Hang on. Boy, during that beatdown, Mike Ball got quiet. I don't know if he's busy unloading confectionery delights or what, or if he's just too embarrassed about that T1 time, that 5.5-minute bulge in T1, you idiot. Eric should do a Rocky-esque training montage. Patriot Nick says, cool story, bro. Way to live in the past. Eric back then wasn't shoving fistful of food down his throat, just saying. No, I'm not shying away from that. You're absolutely right. Again, I made it very, very clear. I am not able to beat Mike in any way, shape, or form. I am not escaping that in any way. I'm just telling you that it was a cottage industry to beat the shit out of him. He was fucking horrible. And the thing is, he could have been so much better if he would have just, my point was, stop being such a dick in between each leg of the triathlon. He sits on his fucking fat ass eating Little Debbie products. Dirk says, Tony Hortons indicates if you're not eating right, don't bother with P90X. If you want to see results, that is. Eric today passed the ice cream. That's true. And I actually did P90X yesterday. That was horrible. The way you've been eating, Eric, I think Mike could nap during transitions and still win. All right, laugh it up, fucko. Laugh it up. I know who your allegiance lies with Patriot Nick. I know that. That's fine. Aram says, but he did get better over the last 5 years. Yes, he's about the same, which is getting better. You're right. His strength is good. But I'm just saying, if you want to be fast in triathlon, which I know you do, you've worked hard, don't waste it all in transition, idiot. That's my point. We will see. On Monday of this show, we're going to go over Mike's times. So I want Mike to be thinking about this, and this will help him. This will help him, okay? His transition times will be faster because I've pointed out how awful he is in transition. In fact, the Chattanooga, let's take a look at this. Chattanooga 70.3 Okay, let's take a look. Okay, what I showed you was the last time we raced. Let's see, 2021 results. Let me share the screen here so we can do this right. Okay, 2021. How do I search names? Results. Search. Last name, Ball. There he is. Amazing. Nearly the identical time. 2016, he did 5:20:17 at the Grand Rapids. He did 5:20:10 in Chattanooga. Oh my God. Transition. Swim to bike. Look at this. 5:48 and 3:49. Those habits have not changed. Son of a bitch, Mike. What are you doing? Look at that. Nearly identical. He is still the same level of fitness, which is really saying something. If you can put 5 years on and you're still that pace, that is very, very good. These are all excellent times, considering the fact that you've gotten older. So you're essentially getting faster. Why do you fucking sit there and fuck off in transitions? Hurry up, Mike. Oh, this is horrible. Man. Wish I could get even more explicit as to how many people were faster than him in transition. All right, Mike. Well, I want to see a time that's much faster in transition, Mike. Monday when we share this on the podcast. And that might be burning in your brain too. When you're racing, if you slow down, it's like, oh fuck, he's got to be looking at this on the show Monday. That's a little bit of pressure. I will be detailing your race Monday. I know you're going to do great. I know you're strong. I know I'm going to see a fast run time. That's the key. All right. But you probably would have beaten me all those races if you would stop pounding your pud in transition. Jesus. He says, glad you were able to find the 1 or 2 races you've beaten me years ago. Mike, come on. I used to beat the shit out of you every year. Oh, my God. That's one thing I could count on. There's 2 things I could count on. Jimmy Minimo always beating me and me always beating you. Oh, God. I don't let Clydesdales beat me, okay? Giant men don't beat nimble warriors like me. It just doesn't happen. Okay? You're too fucking fat. Jeez. All right. So there you go. Mike, back at it this weekend, and then he's taking time off. Okay, I wanted to get into a segment I'm calling Bobby's Restaurant Review. It's not really Bobby's Restaurant Review, Bobby Green in Indiana. But she pointed me into the direction of this, and she has eaten at a place called, I should say, in Illinois. Bobby has eaten at a place called Woody's Steakhouse. Okay? I always get mixed up whether Bobby's from Indiana or Illinois. I always lose, and now I'm thoroughly confused. But anyway, she reached out to me, Bobby Green did, and she goes, you must talk about this. And all it is one of these Facebook groups where, you know, like every community has them where people weigh in with like, oh my God, you won't believe what happened at this restaurant. And then the community weighs in. Is usually a fucking fight. This is great. It just happened the other day. It's dated June 12th. A lady by the name of Jen went to a restaurant in Ottawa, Illinois called Woody's Steakhouse, local eatery. Okay. And all they wanted to do was go and eat, and it turned into an absolute nightmare. Listen to this. And included in this, and I'll link it up, is a little video of the owner following these people out and giving them the finger and telling them to suck his balls. This lady writes, so we had the absolute worst dining experience ever. We went to Woody's Steakhouse for dinner last night, and we will never go back. Started with a terrible drink and ended with a trip to the police station. They had ordered apparently a drink called an old fashioned. They got the drink and it wasn't made right, so they sent it back. This lady writes, please note, an old fashioned is not whiskey, water, and maraschino cherries. The bartender walked out to the table bringing the same drink back. Just put more maraschino cherries. Stating, that's all we had. This writer writes, thank you, but no thank you. Appetizers were fine, but then came the entrees. Oh, the entrees, she writes. The marinated ribeye steak was a piece of shoe leather and gristle not fit to be eaten by our dogs, slathered in glop, which we suspect was sweet baby Ray's. It was inedible. The other entree had spoiled imitation crab, a glob of possibly some cream soup instead of béarnaise. However, the steak under that mess was tender, although flavorless. We sent the ribeye back, at which time the check was dropped unceremoniously on the table. We requested that the ribeye be removed from the bill. The waitress said she could not do that, but would speak to the manager. Out comes the bartender. The bartender, she starts loudly demanding that we pay the bill. We ordered it. We ordered it, so we're paying for it. And it was an appropriate steak. This lady doesn't want to fight. Agrees and hands her the fucking credit card and says, all right, go ahead and pay. While she's handing the credit card to the bartender says, you got to pay. And the lady says, I know. I just gave you the card. At this time, the writer of this asks to speak to someone else because this woman is clearly insane. Bartender throws the credit card at us, saying, you got to talk to Woody. This is the suck my balls guy. The next thing we know, a very large and irate man comes barreling out of the kitchen. He makes it halfway across the dining room before he starts screaming that we ordered the steak and we got to pay for it. At which point we say, yeah, we tried. The manager threw our card at us. He continued screaming at us that he has served millions of steaks in 45 years and that it was marinated and he's never had a complaint. The entire dining room, this lady writes, okay, let's be honest. The place never had more than 4 tables occupied on a busy Friday night. Should have been our first clue to leave, is now staring. We tell Woody to stop talking and run our card and that we are never coming back. He snatches the card out of my hand and storms off into the kitchen. The waitress comes back with package to go containers and the credit card slip to sign. She was apologetic. We did tip her in cash. This was not her fault. We then stand to leave. Out of habit, we had grabbed the to-go containers, but decided they were likely not safe to feed to our dogs at that point, and we set them on the floor by the door on the way out. You would think this horrible dining experience ended there. Alas, you would be wrong. That's right. Woody comes slamming out of the place behind us, screaming at the top of his lungs that he is going to get our plates in case we damage things. Excuse me? This guy is unhinged. He followed us to our vehicle screaming, and you can see the video. I'll link it up, about his awesome steaks and 45 years of experience the entire way. We go to get in the car, and he circles around to the front of the car, still screaming. Now that I have the door open and the car between us, I start recording this madman as we are telling him to leave and stop harassing us, or we will call the police. I capture the epic finale of the evening. Woody giving us the finger and saying, "Suck my balls." No, sir. No, we will not. Not even if you marinate them in your gross slop, or perhaps you marinated the steak in your balls. We will never know. So if you want an almost battery, it says, with a side of inedible trash for over $100, this is your place. Otherwise, avoid Woody's Steakhouse, this person writes, at all costs. We drove promptly to the Ottawa Police Department and filed a report in case this psycho tried to claim we damaged his rat hole establishment or didn't pay the bills. 0 stars. Do not recommend. Hey, I know what that is. Yeah, that's what you do. You let him have it. And she wrote, edit. Woody's Steakhouse at 1321 LaSalle Street, Ottawa, Illinois. They keep removing the tag to their business. Nice try. Edit 2. Woody's Steakhouse has now blocked me. They won't make this go away. The internet is forever. Edit 3. To respond to the allegations made by Woody, Kevin Woodson. We never threw food across the dining room. I guess people are like reaching out to me, like, yeah, they threw their food. This person wrote, I'm sure if we had, he would have rightly called the police on us. This is pure fiction. Libel isn't a good look on anyone. Also, yes, an old fashioned and has a steeped cherry. This person's getting into the particulars of the old fashioned. And an orange peel, as well as bitters and bourbon. Not a maraschino cherry, and all the juice with bourbon and water. We never asked to take the drink off the bill, only the steak that was sent back uneaten. And when they declined, we promptly handed over the credit card for payment to have it thrown back at us. And finally, the only reason my vehicle was mentioned was in response to Mr. Woodson screaming at us about getting my plate after he followed us out. Wow. Holy shit. Bobby wrote, I work down the street from this place, but I've never ate there. I guess I thought she'd had. I have seen a lot of comments from others saying this behavior is not surprising. Wow. Holy shit. And yes, I'll link it up. You can see this guy yelling, suck my balls. Whew. Man. Kenny, of course, writes, how dare they try to ruin that poor guy's honest business? Don't even try. That is way, way different. That is way, way different than what happened with whatever auto repair place it was. The guy who, it's way different. It's absolutely different. Not at all the same. My God, Kenny. Oh, my God. Okay, very good. Sounds like Eric needs to call Woody. What the hell is it called? Woody's Press Box? Woody's Steakhouse? I doubt he's there. Woody's Steakhouse, Ottawa, Illinois. There's no way this guy is there. Freaking 8 o'clock in the morning there. This guy's going to snap if he picks it up. 801. No. Okay. 433. Let's see. Come on, Kevin. Maybe he's prepping for the day, trying to put the previous day's events behind him. Maybe. I doubt it. Come on, buddy. It's like a nice enough place, really. You know, nice front to the building. Oh, boy, it's not going to work out. Maybe further down the road. All right, I wanted to share that and thought it was excellent. I've got merch, and I want you to check it out. EricZaneShow.com. Click on merch and shop the T-shirts. Sometimes they go on sale. I have nothing to do with that. I usually get a note from the T-shirt place. They're like, "Hey, we're having a big sale," and I'm like, "All right, great, thanks." Which means I get next to nothing for the damn T-shirts, but I don't give a shit. I just want you wearing them. EricZaneShow.com. Click on merch and shop. We've got 9 different designs. You can get different stickers. You can get different T-shirts, different long sleeve, short sleeve, ladies cuts, different blends, 27 different colors in these T-shirts. They're great fun. Okay. All at ericzaneshow.com. All part of the open of this show. Thank you so much. It is brought to you by the open and the live stream by Mario Flores and the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Some of you are in a mortgage right now, and you're like, I don't need to worry about that. Well, okay. You know what you should do every so often is check on the interest rate. Because if you're in a 30-year fixed at 3.85, okay, that's a pretty good rate, actually, when you got it. But, right now, you could get a rate at probably about 2.5%, and that's significant. Okay, let's say you've got a mortgage, 3.85%, 30 years. By the time that you're done paying that mortgage off in 30 years, you've paid, I don't know. I guess it depends on the price of the house, but let's just assume. Like I was just given a scenario the other day by Mario. He said if somebody has a mortgage for about $290,000, okay, for a 30-year fixed at 3.85%, when it's all said and done, they're going to pay about $185,000, $190,000 in interest in 30 years, okay? This is just for ease of math here. You get into a 15-year fixed for 2.55. You will pay more per month, but not that more per month. You're looking at about, I don't know, what was about $1,785, $1,800 a month, $2,200 a month. If you can swing that, which is a couple of weeks of freaking ride sharing, for God's sake, to make that difference, you're going to pay that house off in 15 years. And at that low interest rate, which you'll get because you're getting a 15-year mortgage, you're going to pay about $60,000 in interest over 15 years, as opposed to $185,000. That's incredible. You want more details on how you can work this out? And again, you got to have good credit. I mean, that's if you're a dog on credit, you're not going to get that. There's no way. But some of you got great credit. Explore this with Mario. And mention my name, please. Call him at 231-332-6505. For some of you other folks, you have low credit, no credit, bad credit. That ain't you. But still, if you're paying money to a landlord, you can get you into a home on a mortgage. You ain't going to get that low of an interest rate, but you're going to get into an interest rate, and you're paying on your home. And then the good news is, when you pay that on time for a year and a half, your credit score improves dramatically, and then you redo the loan at a lower interest rate. You don't just buy one loan, get one loan, and stay in it for life, dum-dum. You got to go back and update that thing because your credit score is constantly changing. You're getting better as you progress through life. Mario helps you with all this stuff. 231-332-6505. NMLS number 3035. Servicing mortgages anywhere in the USA except for South Carolina, Maine, Alaska, and Hawaii. We've got gun class this weekend with Prince Arming. He's going to be in Allendale. That's where the class is going to take place. If you want to take the CPL class, you got to sign up. It's going to cost you $125. You're going to start at about 8 a.m. Saturday morning. You're done by about 3, maybe 4. And then you're done. You are certified. You see the video, you get some range time. You don't even need to own a pistol. Just show up, pay the guy $125. You got to book it ahead of time, and then take the class. Okay, you're going to get the range time. You're going to watch a video. You're going to talk to the lawyer. They're going to teach you. You're going to take the test. You're going to pass the test. You're going to have questions. You're going to have answers. That's it. Certification. You're done. That's what you need in the great state of Michigan. This class right here with Prince Arming. Online at princearming.com. Or find them on Facebook. Just search Prince Arming. Like Prince Charming. Snow White, Seven Dwarfs, Prince Charming. Prince Arming. It is retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince teaching the class. He's about 6'8", and his voice is about this deep. He's awesome. Thank you so much to Steve Prince. Class happens this weekend. If you can't make that one, new classes are updated all the time. You can find out more at princearming.com. Okay. I want to get into the Center Point, Alabama Waffle House story. What is that all about? I love this story, and it's going to involve me making another phone call at some point. And I think this one will work. I'm kind of just going to read this off the New York or the Washington Post. The story's kind of going around. It's a viral. This is a feel-good story. There's a lot of good going on in this story. I absolutely love this story. Young man in Alabama, Timothy Harrison, went to work at Waffle House. He's only been there about a month. This is just like, the story was published yesterday. I think this all happened like 3-4 days ago. A lot has happened. This is a great story. I love this story so much. Young man finishing up high school. He arrived at work. His boss is 38-year-old Cedric Hampton. He's like, "Hey, Timothy, what are you doing here? You're not on the schedule. I thought you wanted it off for graduation." Timothy is a little downtrodden because he had asked if he could take that day off for graduation. I'm already screwing this up. The graduation was set for May 27th. The story's just getting out now. Well, he shows up to work on May 27th. And he's like, "Wait, I thought you wanted the day off for your graduation. You're going to be, and he goes, "Yeah, I can't do it. I'm unable to go. I did not have a ride. I did not have the ability to be able to get to my graduation, which was held at a venue in nearby Birmingham, Alabama, which is about an hour's drive in traffic from his house." Quote, "They did want to go very badly, but sadly they could not," said Cedric Harrison. I'm sorry. I am just an idiot, said the young boy. He added that he is not in touch with his father, and his mom works at a daycare and could not get the day off to be there. "I didn't have a ride. I didn't have tickets, and it was a plan that I couldn't put together all the way," said the kid. So he just went into work in the hope that he could still get his usual shift. He explained to his coworkers why he was skipping the ceremony. The manager, Cedric Hampton, the 38-year-old, jumped into action. "I said, go home, get your paperwork, call the school, and we will figure out the rest," said Hampton, 38, who has worked at the Waffle House for 4 years. "For me, it was a no-brainer. Graduation is one of those things you get to do once in a lifetime, and when you've worked all these years going to school and have that moment, it's necessary to be there. Plus," he added, "I could see in his eyes that he really wanted to go, and I was going to get him there no matter what. No kid should miss their high school graduation." Harrison told the staff, the 18-year-old told the staff at the Waffle House that he never had gotten his cap or gown or tickets to the event since he was at work during the graduation rehearsal, which is where the mandatory items were distributed to the students. So he's got nothing, and it's the day of, okay? But the Waffle House employees were undaunted. Given the limited amount of time before the 3 p.m. ceremony, they decided to divide and conquer. This sounds like Zaniac stuff right here. This is what Zaniacs do. This is right up your alley. You guys have done this shit for me. Do you remember on the Great Food Giveaway how I talked about it, and then the next thing you know, it's taken care of? Or when I did that first podcast, and then all of a sudden the room is done? You guys. When the assistant manager of the restaurant, who had the day off, heard about what was going on, she swiftly showed up at the restaurant. One employee drove Harrison to the high school to pick up graduation gear, and another visited a nearby Target to buy a new outfit for him. 4 Waffle House employees chipped in about $40 each for a pair of gray pants, a baby blue dress shirt, a tie, and matching gray shoes for Harrison. So this kid is poor, mom works, dad's out of the picture. It's a shit show. He doesn't have anything. He's fucking despondent, sad, probably brokenhearted, feels he's got the blues. We decided we were going to step in and take care of everything for him so he could really celebrate his day. A couple customers, sitting there at the Waffle House eating their meat and 3, smothered and covered. They heard it. They contributed a few bucks. That's great. The patrons overheard what was happening. They threw in a few bucks. Within a few hours, we were able to get everything taken care of. After stopping at the school to pick up his green and gold cap and gown, Harrison went back to the restaurant to try on his new outfit. And there's pictures of it. I'll link it up. You can see it yourself. He's putting on the gear. The 38-year-old manager, Cedric, what's his face, is helping him tie his tie. When he walked out of the bathroom in the dress clothes, quote, "I felt like the president," he recalled. Harrison said, does that mean he fell down the steps? Ah! Harrison said he was overwhelmed with appreciation for his coworkers' collective effort, especially because he'd only worked at the Waffle House for a little more than a month. He now calls them his work family. "My work family is helpful and thoughtful, and they make sure everybody around them is okay," he said. "These are very loving people." Harrison is especially grateful to Hampton, he added, for taking charge and ensuring that he didn't miss the milestone. "He is a leader. He makes sure everybody is at their maximum potential," he said. Hampton's a father of three, said he was just doing his job. "We are one big family at my Waffle House. We are all about supporting our people," he said, after Hampton helped Harrison put on his cap and gown. Timothy immediately lit up, as did Hampton, who said he felt like a proud parent. Given pandemic restrictions and seat limitations, the Waffle House employees were not permitted inside the graduation ceremony, so they waited in the parking lot to congratulate Harrison after he walked out with a glowing smile. The story's not done. It actually gets better. You think it's done. It's not. "It was definitely the best day of my life," he said. "The experience was amazing. Although they wished they could have seen him walk around the stage to get his diploma, we were just proud that he was able to experience that moment to the fullest," Hampton said. At the time, the staff didn't realize that their efforts to help Harrison would spur unexpected opportunities for the new graduate. You might think, oh, it's done. Now this kid's he's gonna work the rest of his life at the Waffle House. Nope. Faculty members at nearby Lawson State Community College in Birmingham heard about Harrison's story on the local news. They offered him a full scholarship as well as books. Holy fuck. This young man was certainly hardworking and dedicated. You see, that's how it is, man. You get a story gets viral, and then the whole world just, that's what you can hope for. This kid could have been the worst student in the world. He could have graduated with a .00001 grade point average and done nothing but smoke pot in high school and finger bang chicks, and he'd get a free ride because the story goes viral. I'm totally kidding. He didn't do any of those things. I'm just saying he could have been. So now he's got a free ride to college. You know how, like, when some kid rides his bike to work, you know, and then for a week or a month or a year, and then he does something nice, and there's a GoFundMe, and he makes $90 million. That's what's going to happen here. So the school has come out and said, that's it. We're going to take care of this. Cynthia Lawson from the school said, president of the school, we just wanted to see how Lawson State could help him to further his education and meet his career goals. Harrison was elated by the offer. This is a blessing. He said, I'm most excited for the people I'm about to meet and the opportunities that are going to be presented to me. You see, you got to peel back the layers. This is great. What an adventure. All because somebody said, hey, how come you're not going to your graduation? The next thing you know, he's got a free ride to college and a new tie. Before, college wasn't in the cause for Harrison because of the cost. He said he initially planned to continue working at Waffle House for his foreseeable future and perhaps eventually join the military. For Cedric Hampton, the scholarship was the crowning moment because here's a kid who wasn't even thinking about college, and now there's doors opening that he never even thought about. On June 10th, Harrison and Hampton toured the college campus together, the manager and the kid. So now the 38-year-old has become like dad to the kid. Isn't that awesome? That's fucking great. They chatted with administrators about various programs and housing options. Harrison plans to study business and computer science in the fall. During the tour, he tugged at my heart when he told us that this was life-changing for him. Hang on. Excuse me. And it's something that is going to give him an opportunity that he would never have. Harrison's proverbial village extends beyond the college. He'll have the steadfast support from the Waffle House family. I am his full-time mentor, said Cedric Hampton. I really feel good about what's about to happen for him, and I'll always be there along the way. That is awesome. I love that. I must speak with Cedric. That is the father figure in all this. Or Timothy. Love to talk. They're probably working right now at the Waffle House. And you got to love a Waffle House, man. It's time to reach out to them, see if they can provide.
House. We are open. However, at this moment, we are unable to take to-go orders over the phone at this location. Please come in to place your to-go order or dine with us in person, and we will be happy to serve you. If you need directions, please visit wafflehouse.com and click on Find a Store. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, no! You've got to be kidding me. That's it? I can't. I need follow-up. I must get follow-up.
Thank you for calling your local Waffle House. We are open. However, we did not thank you.
Fuck. Oh, that's way disappointing. I really wanted to talk to that guy. Well, I'll have to go back to the drawing board on that one. Love the story. Perhaps some follow-up tomorrow. Josh writes, Waffle House is so good. Yes, I agree. A little overpriced. Just a little. But you're paying for the experience. I love this story so much. One of my favorites that I've seen in recent memory. Okay. But with a story that good, it's important to point out that there are other stories that are the opposite, not so good. Several of you sent the story about the dad who made his final child support payment. What a fucking idiot. Richmond, Virginia. This is the story of Avery Sanford. Avery Sanford is the child. Last month, her dad was actually, you know what, this one starts out shitty and then it gets good. Yeah, it starts out really terrible and then the script is flipped on it. This kid, 18 years old, Avery Sanford, years ago, her mother and father, they broke up. Things got ugly. They got a divorce. And then, so for however long it's been, dad has had to make child support payments. And that's been kind of like pulling teeth over the years. There's always been something weird going on. It's tough to get the money, but whatever. That's it. Well, the last payment is about to be paid. And what does the dad do? He gets, let's see here, 80,000 pennies and dumps 80,000 pennies in the street in front of the kid's house and says, here you go. It's your final child support payment. Smell you later. Surveillance video caught the dad pulling up in his vehicle with a trailer hitched to the rear. He lifted the trailer, dumping the pennies on the curb and on the lawn. The video also captured the conversation. What are you dropping in my yard? Said Sanford's mother. It's the last child support payment, the father responded before taking off. They did call 911, but there's really nothing they could do. Cops documented the incident. However, no charges filed. It's really hurtful and damaging to your kids when you do things like that. It doesn't matter how old your kids are. It doesn't matter if you're a young child or an adult. Sanford told a local TV station, the actions of your parents will always have some effect on you. Here you get this guy's final fucking payment, and he sticks his finger right in the eye. What a dick. It's not just my mother that he's trying to embarrass, she continued. It's also me. It's my sister. It's upsetting. He really doesn't consider that before he did this. This is an 18-year-old saying this. How'd you like to be this guy after the fact? Everybody knows who you are now after this big, bold statement of you. Everybody's going to know you're a douchebag. The dad, the TV station approached him and said, hey, what's going on here? He said he regretted his decisions and that his emotions got the best of him. Nah, that isn't a spur of the moment thing. You had to think that out and plan that out. That is so premeditated. That's what a child would say. A little kid would say, "Yeah, I let my emotions get the best of me." Bullshit, you dick. But this is going to come back to bite this guy in the ass because now everybody knows who he is, and this can't be that big of a community in this part of Virginia or whatever. I guess maybe. I mean, Richmond, Virginia isn't exactly a tiny area. But so all right, he said, "Yeah, I let my emotions get the best of me." But the teenager did not want the story to end with this vengeful act by Dick Dad. They actually took shovels and scooped the pennies up and collected them, and it was $800. And they donated it to a local domestic abuse shelter known as Safe Harbor. Quote, "The fact that they turned around such a spiteful act into something so beautiful just says a lot about the relationship between the mother and the daughter," says Safe Harbor Executive Director Kathy Easter, told a TV station yesterday. Turning around and donating that money to moms and children in need, like I feel like you just really turns the situation into a positive one. You can learn a lesson from it. Well, the story isn't done either. There's a lot more has happened since that. But, so it's bad enough that the dickhead dad does this and everybody knows who he is now. Because the surveillance footage was shown to the TV and they interviewed him and everybody's going to know who he is and word is going to spread about how much of a cocksucker he is. But the fact that they then give the money away, that's a last fuck you by the mom. She's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to donate the money. That makes this guy look like even more of an asshole. The fact that they are being benevolent with the fucking money. This guy is so screwed. This is great. According to Fox 5 Atlanta, no, I'm sorry. There was the further part of the story is, according to the Safe Harbor place, the place that they donated the money to, more than $40,000 has been donated from people all around the world since this story went viral. So they've benefited from this. So you've got the people who had the money dumped on their front lawn, the mom and the daughters, and the video of the idiot dropping the money on there. They give the money away, and then numerous people come out of the woodwork from all different parts of the globe, according to Safe Harbor, and said, yeah, it's been unbelievable. Like, just like that, people started, the story went viral, and thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, more than $40,000 went towards them, money to keep women safe, domestic abuse shelters. So it all worked out, but this guy has to feel like such a dickhead. Can you imagine? If there's any hope that you're ever going to, who wouldn't ever want to think, to be so stupid to think that there is no chance ever that you could ever turn it around. Who wouldn't ever want to have a relationship with their kids? In the moment, I could understand maybe you're pissed off, but to be so spiteful and ignorant about the whole thing, what an asshole. Oh, my God. All right. I want to thank, of course, my friends at Blue Frost IT for being on board with this show. Thank you so much to Blue Frost IT. And, this is a business where you can bang on their door for several needs. First of all, if you're just at your home and you have a computer that doesn't work or needs to be upgraded or serviced, you can call upon Blue Frost IT. If you own a business or you work for a business that has computers and you need an upgrade, mention Blue Frost IT. They come to your business and say, all right, so what's the problem? Well, all this shit is slow. All this shit is outdated. They're going to go ahead and give you a complimentary consultation about how you can get, into the current century with your tech. Okay. Maybe your workplace needs new wall drops. You need a project done to get your tech all set up. I just heard from, God, where was it? Let me see if I can get this email. No, I can't. Maybe it was Hastings. I always get these two communities mixed up, Hastings or Hopkins. Yeah, here it is. Marty wrote this. Marty, wrote, I just want to say how happy I am with Blue Frost IT. I am the owner of the Hastings Veterinary Clinic that was an IT shit show. Alan saved us, has us going in the right direction, and the employees and I could not be more impressed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. On another topic, I want to get on your side to kick Mike Ball's ass, but you lack consistency. Get it together. Love the show. All right. That was sent last week, and I responded on Friday. Hi, Marty. I'm glad you connected with Alan. He is very thorough and excellent at what he does. Thank you for reaching out to him. I had a good week, though. I haven't missed a day of running. Talk to you soon. So, all right. It worked out for them. That's project work. Marty then signed up for managed IT service providing work. That means you pay Alan each month. Alan is his tech department. If anything goes wrong, Alan is boots on the ground. He can take care of any issues. Blue Frost IT. Send them an email, info@bluefrostit.com, or call 616-200-8550. All right. And Alan might be a dad for the second time, Alan and Ashlyn. That little one is set to come into the world like right now. I hope everything's going well. I will check in. Please let me know ASAP. Prayers up for Alan and Ashlyn. You know I love you to support all my sponsors. A great gift would be a brand new set of customized cornhole boards from Cornhole America. Sending brand new boards to anybody in the USA. Find them out online at cornholeamerica.com. You can put anything, and I mean anything, any logo onto a set of cornhole boards and cornhole bags. Your initials, whatever image, whatever sports team's image, cornholeamerica.com. These are a lot more expensive than what you'd buy at any stupid department store. And the reason why is because the stuff you buy at the store sucks shit. These are high-end, professional cornhole boards. Cornhole is all over the place. You can watch it on TV nearly every day. The boards that they use on those tournaments are the exact same boards that they make at Cornhole America. Same specs, bounce, slide, dimensions, all that stuff. Durability. Cornholeamerica.com. Cheapest you're going to get is about $175 for a set of boards. It's going to have that logo on it. That's their logo, Cornhole America. You pay for your own logo, it's going to cost you about $220. But you will never, ever have to buy another set of these ever again. They are the best. Shipped to your door. Custom-made bags, too. With whatever you want on the bags. Not these stupid poverty shit bags with the dust flying everywhere. And there's a rip and the shit's flying out of the side like an asshole. Everybody hates your guts. Don't buy that garbage. What are you doing? Cornholeamerica.com. Okay. Last sponsor I want to mention right now is Bennett Flooring Installation. This is probably the best thing going. It's the best of both worlds because the flooring is going to be installed 100% professional. It's going to look as good as it possibly can because professionals are installing it. But you're not paying through the nose because you've done a lot of the legwork. You've ripped out the old flooring. You can do that. Who the hell can't do that? Okay? You've prepared the area for them so they don't have. Now, they can do that if you want. If you want, you can hire them to do all that shit. It'll cost you a little more. But the way to do it is to kind of, rip out the old carpeting, maybe the old flooring, buy whatever stuff you want at, and then, say, hey, this is what I'm going to install. How much is it going to cost you to, and how much is it going to cost me to have you install it? They measure, they send you an estimate, they show up, they do it. It's that simple. BennettFlooringInstallation.com is their website. Let me double check that. I always forget. Bennett Flooring Installation. They're on Facebook. At Bennett Flooring. BennettFlooringInstallation.com. You get a lot of nice looks at before and after pictures. Just absolutely awesome. Kitchen backsplash installation, tile shower installation, hard surface flooring installation, carpet. They do it all at Bennett Flooring Installation. You ever be sitting there in your shower and you're looking at it going, my God, man, this thing is so old. God, even the mold is 25 years old. Redo that thing with Bennett Flooring Installation. If you go to their website, BennettFlooringInstallation.com, all the contact info is there. Or just call Jacob or Jason anytime at 616-318-0167 if you are in West Michigan. Now, obviously, people listen all over the place on this show. So if you're in frickin' Arizona, Bennett Flooring Installation probably ain't going to work for you. But whatever the hell. If you're in West Michigan, call upon Bennett Flooring Installation online at BennettFlooringInstallation.com. Mitchell says, I just got my oil from JM Synthetics. Thanks, Jason. We're going to hear from them a little later on. Kenny, concerning the last story about child support, writes, what absent and or non-custodial parents don't seem to realize is how much things affect the kids and how the custodial parent has to struggle without that financial support. It affects the kids. You are right, Kenny. Kenny writes, I am still owed. He wrote, hey, at least they got the money, but it also probably didn't count because it's supposed to go through the system. Kenny writes, I'm still owed $60,000. Holy shit. For back child support on Derek and Rachel. And they're 22 and 20 years old now. Oh, my God, you poor thing. Like I said, at least they got the money. I'd take payments in pennies or any other form, but I'll never see any of it. That is a shame. I am so sorry. Oh, rough sledding. What a crazy bitch. What the fuck? Yeah, that goes both ways, you know. Sometimes it happens where it isn't always the dude has to pay the lady. Sometimes the lady has to pay the dude, you know. Okay. Want to play for you audio of legendary performer, former leader of lead singer of Pink Floyd, Roger Waters, who is speaking out. Roger Waters is because he was offered a ton of money by Mark Zuckerberg to use Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. He was speaking during an event, speaking on behalf of Julian Assange. All right. I don't want to give too much away here because he does it all here, but he has been very outspoken about Julian Assange being the whistleblower that he is, I guess. I mean, to be honest with you, I haven't really followed this story over the years. I just know that this guy has been in one country and then another, and then people want him in prison, and he speaks the truth, and he's a liar, and all sorts of shit. It doesn't matter. All you need to know is that Roger Waters is speaking at an event. Behind him, it says, Free Julian Assange. And this just happened the other day. June 12th is when this clip surfaced. Roger Waters from Pink Floyd is speaking with on a panel of other luminaries. And there's a crowd of people, not a lot of people. And it's very, very good audio. And he is pissed off at Mark Zuckerberg, who has petitioned Roger Waters about using the song for a promotional advertisement for Instagram and Facebook. Waters indicated that the company wanted to make Facebook and Instagram more powerful than it already is so that it can continue to censor all of us in this room and prevent this story about Julian Assange getting out into the general public so the general public can go, what? No more. Okay? This is what Roger Waters revealed to these people. Check this clip out.
This is something that I actually put in my folder when I came out here today. You have no idea what it is.
He's holding up a letter.
Nobody does, because it arrived on the internet to me this morning. It's a request for the rights to use my song, Another Brick in the Wall 2, in the making of a film to promote Instagram. So it's a missive. It's a missive.
I love the reaction of the crowd because they know what's coming when he says, yeah, Facebook wants to use my song, and they know that Roger Waters is going to let them have it.
Instagram. So it's a missive. It's a missive from Mark Zuckerberg to me, right? Arrived this morning with an offer of a huge, huge amount of money. And the answer is, fuck you. No fucking way. And I only mention that because this is an insidious, it's the insidious movement of them to take over absolutely everything, you know. So those of us who do have any power, and I do have a little bit, in terms of the control of the publishing of my songs, I do anyway. So I will not be a party to this bullshit, Zuckerberg. We want to thank you for considering this project. We feel that the core sentiment of this song is still so prevalent and necessary today.
Okay, yeah, he's reading from the letter now.
It speaks to how timeless a work is true. And yet they want to subjoin it. They want to use it to make Facebook and Instagram even bigger and more powerful than it already is, so that it can continue to censor all of us in this room and prevent this story about Julian Assange getting out to the general public, so the general public could go, what? What? No more. Nada más. Zuckerberg features in my new rock and roll show. I've got him no, I shouldn't tell you. But he does. But you think, how did this little prick who started off by saying, she's pretty, we'll give her a 4 out of 5. She's ugly, we'll give her a 1. How the did he get any power in anything? And yet here he is, one of the most powerful idiots in the world.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. Holy shit. I haven't really followed that story. I probably should. But whatever they're talking about, I'm all about it. It's fucking great. That just hearing Roger Waters say, fuck you is enough to make me, all right, I'm on board. Oh, God. May says, I love the fuck you with the accent. Yes, absolutely awesome. All right. Okay. Final thing I want to get into is, do you remember about a week ago, I shared with you that supermodel, I guess, Chrissy Teigen, the wife of John Legend, she was making the rounds on an apology tour, okay? And her kind of world was evaporating in front of her eyes. Now, you got to understand, this is quite a bit of a turnabout here. Chrissy Teigen is kind of like the leader of like the and not my words, but a lot of people refer to her as like the leader, like the woke bunch. You know, there's a lot of wokeness going on there, and everybody needs their fair shake, and we got to treat people with respect. And and then people try to bust on her and attack her, and people, right-leaning people, let her have it, and she got into a Twitter war with Donald Trump, and he called her nasty and all this shit, and okay, well, so it's of that ilk. Well, about a month ago, we talked about this last week. A person by the name of Courtney Stodden, who was married to that Green Mile actor Doug Hutchinson when he was 51 years old and she was 16. Now, that in itself is one of the most ridiculous things that has ever happened in history, that a 16-year-old was married to a 51-year-old here in the U.S. You'd hear about this story like, some little village in Nepal or something like that. But no, Stodden's parents signed off on the deal. And they said, yes, of course, we love Doug. Go ahead and have sex with our child. Okay? So obviously there's something wrong with Stodden. And I think over the years, as many years have passed, she's in her mid to late 20s now, her life has changed. She refers to herself as they, them. When she was 16, she looked like a pinup model. I mean, she didn't look 16. It was insane how she looked. And I talked about this just last week. I probably even showed a picture of it. It's well documented about this. And so the whole thing was written as a reality show and a lot of plastic surgery involved. And it was very disturbing to me, all of that. Well, what we didn't know was behind the scenes, Chrissy Teigen was sending her direct messages saying you should kill yourself. Okay. Well, Stodden revealed that a couple weeks ago, that Chrissy Teigen years ago had obliterated her and sent her hateful messages saying you need to kill yourself. You should commit suicide, which flies in the face of Miss Woke. Okay. So everybody starts turning on Chrissy Teigen, pulling up shop. She's got all these Macy's like, fuck you, man. We can't. What is this all about? This is cancel culture coming around. And, I am a supporter of cancel culture. You're like, wait, what do you mean you're a supporter of cancel culture? Some people do deserve to get canceled. Okay. It goes both ways. If you get fucking canceled, odds are you've been a fucking asshole at some point in your life. And if you are not yet aware of the fucking rules, tough shit, asshole. Figure it out. Teigen is getting murdered. Okay, so last week she comes out. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I have got to turn my life around. I am so bad to Courtney. And Courtney's like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah." She's sitting there saying she's sorry, and she said that she approached me personally and publicly, but she's never approached me personally. She's never said sorry to me. She never said a shit to me. But she said that she said shit to me, but she hasn't. So, I mean, it's not getting any better. So time passes, another week passes, more. Teigen is just hemorrhaging money. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." The only reason why, and everybody's seeing through this shit. They're like, "Yeah, you crazy bitch." The only reason why you're saying sorry is because you're losing all your fucking endorsements. She makes cookbooks and shit like that. And John Legend's sitting there trying, oh my God, I knew you were a handful, but this is a real problem here. So all this stuff about Courtney Stodden comes out, and she's just hemorrhaging money, and another week passes. So now this crazy bitch, Chrissy Teigen, is again apologizing because it didn't work. The apology did not take. She has come out again saying, "I'm so sorry that I did that. I must be mean to myself." Okay. I'm just going to lift this right off of thecut.com. I'll provide the link in the comments of the podcast. Last month, reality TV star Courtney Stodden talks about how she gave an interview about the intense media. This is how it all surfaced. She gave an interview about the scrutiny she faced back in 2011. In that interview, that's when she brought up the Chrissy Teigen thing. So then the past comes back to haunt Teigen. In addition to public tweets telling Stodden to take a dirt nap, which is saying die. You can't do that. I mean, you couldn't even do it back then. This is a 16-year-old. Whether she looks like she's 35 or not, it doesn't matter. You have a 16-year-old child you are telling to kill herself. Ugh. Oh boy. And when you're the leader of the woke brigade telling a kid to kill themselves, even if it was 10 years ago, this is not going to break well for you. Holy shit. Stodden also said that Teigen sent her private DMs, things like, quote, "I cannot wait for you to die." Oh, no. You're so dead. A few days later, Tegan addressed her past harassment of Stodden in a Twitter thread saying, quote, "I am mortified and sad at who I used to be. I was an insecure, attention-seeking troll." Stodden responded, "I accept her apology and I forgive her, but the truth remains the same. I have never heard from her or her camp in private." Okay. So a month passes. Tegan has said nothing online. She now comes back with another apology. She says, "I want you to know I've been sitting in a hole of deserved global punishment. The ultimate sit and think about what you've done," Tegan wrote. "Not a day, not a single moment has passed where I haven't felt the crushing weight of regret for the things I've said in the past." Hold on a second. I actually need to. This is the actual tweet or the post she wrote. This was posted, I think, yesterday. "Hello, all. It's been a very humbling few weeks. I know I've been very quiet, and Lord knows you don't want to hear about me. But I want you to know I've been sitting in a hole of deserved global punishment, the ultimate sit here and think about what you've done. Not a day, not a single moment has passed where I haven't felt the crushing weight of regret for the things I've said in the past. As you know, a bunch of my old awful tweets resurfaced. I'm truly ashamed of them. As I look at them and understand the hurt they caused, I have to stop and wonder, how could I have done that? I've apologized publicly to one person, but there are others, and more than just a few, who I need to say I'm sorry to. This tells me there's more. I'm in the process of privately reaching out to the people I insulted. It's like my own version of that show, My Name is Earl. I understand that they may not want to speak to me. I don't think I'd like to speak to me." Okay, so this is ongoing. She went on to say she is truly ashamed of what she's previously posted online. She also, that includes past harassment of other celebrities like Lindsay Lohan and Teen Mom's Farrah Abraham. Tegan also talked about how she initially used social media as a way to snark at some celebs. "I thought it made me cool and relatable if I poked fun at celebrities," she said, adding that now she cringes to her core when remembering her asshole past. I was a troll, full stop, and I am so sorry." Now, here's the thing. You got to understand. This all seems fucked because she's already done this. She did this a week ago. She's doing it again because of dollar signs, and everybody is seeing right through it. And I couldn't be more happy with this. This is what you get, okay? Especially because of the hypocritical nature of this. And there's more to this, and I'll get to it in a second, that makes this even more hypocritical. I haven't even gotten to the best part of this. Tegan said therapy and life experiences made her more empathetic. "I'm more understanding of what motivates trolling. The instant gratification that you get from lashing out and clapping back, throwing rocks at someone you think is invincible because they're famous, blah, 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 blah." Tegan's letter concludes, we are all more than our worst moments," she said. She isn't asking for forgiveness, only your patience and tolerance, adding, "I ask that you allow me, as I promised to allow you," oh, thank you, "to own past mistakes and be given the opportunity to seek self-improvement and change. If the comments on her tweet are any indication, her new apology is being met with skepticism from some, especially those who are dubious that the statement isn't just an attempt to mend her public image. After the tweets harassing Stodden initially resurfaced, multiple brands, including Macy's and Bloomingdale's, dropped their partnerships. Stodden also speculated that Tegan's initial public apology was fueled by losing brand deals. "It feels like a public attempt to save her partnership with Target and other brands who are attempting to realizing her, quote, wokeness is a broken record," Stodden wrote on Instagram. Okay. Let me back up here. It is June 2021. Before the Stodden revelation in May of 2021. In March of 2021. This from the Washington Post. 2 months before the shit hits the fan. Headline. Chrissy Teigen quits Twitter, saying it no longer serves me as positively. Chrissy Teigen deleted her account. Quote, hey, for 10 years, you guys have been my world. I honestly owe so much to this world we have created here. I truly consider so many of you my actual friends. But it's time for me to say goodbye. This no longer serves me positively as it serves me negatively, and I think that's the right time to call something. My life goal is to make people happy. Yeah, did you make Stodden happy in 2011, you fucking idiot? The pain that I feel when I don't is too much for me. I've always been portrayed as the strong clapback girl, but I'm just not, Teigen added. My desire to be liked and fear of pissing people off has made me somebody you didn't sign up for and a different human than I started out here as. No, I think you started out there as an asshole, as evidenced in 2011 when you told the 16-year-old to kill herself. Live well, tweeters. Please know all I ever cared about was you. You didn't care about the deranged 16-year-old who was married to the 51-year-old who needed help when you told her to kill herself, asshole. She had 13.7 million followers and another 34.4 million on Instagram, where she remains. That's how she posts now, is on Instagram. I always have a note in my pocket that says, oh, hold on a second. I don't want to read that part. Her prominence grew as she traded insults with Trump. Her responses or clapbacks to critics were an integral part of her online brand. When she tweeted that she was jet lagged, for example, I don't want to read that either. She also often spoke of her celebrity, once tweeting, famous, interesting celebs are supposed to love you guys. Celebs are supposed to love you guys, while also knowing you'd make a meme out of our dead bodies to get retweets. Her departure from Twitter came on the heels of her announcing her partnership with Kris Jenner to create a line of plant-based cleaning products. I really don't want to wake up every day trying to make you mad, but somehow I manage, and you say I have no talent. That's something, I guess, Teigen tweeted in response to the wave of criticism, pointedly calling it mean at one point and adding, I'll never get over it. Teigen, here you go, this is rich. Teigen has long spoken out about harassment. Right, here we are, and then a month and a half later, a 16-year-old reveals that she DM'd her, telling her to kill herself. The comments affect me, she said on the Today Show in February of 2021. Can you imagine if you're Stodden, you're like, okay, that's the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm going to go get some more plastic surgery and expose Chrissy Teigen for the fucking hypocrite that she is. Not only do we have our own personal judgment and vendetta against ourselves, according to Teigen, but we also have to read and hear these voices online all the time. It's hard to weed out. Oh, holy shit. At the same time, Teigen did serve as something akin to a spokesman for Twitter in February of 2019 when she recorded a behind the tweets video for the platform and when she called herself the unofficial mayor of Twitter. The Twitter brass have long been criticized for failing to adequately combat harassment, and Teigen's departure, again, this is from March, before the allegations or the truth about her harassing Stodden surfaced. She was like harping on Twitter for harassment, and she did it herself. Oh my God. Chrissy Teigen quitting Twitter is really, really bad reflection on the company's ability to fight abuse. She wasn't just some famous person. She was a power user and a fan favorite internally. She even spoke at Twitter's company-wide retweet in early 2020. This one will sting, tweeted Bloomberg reporter Kurt Wagner. TechCrunch's Drew Olenoff agreed, tweeting that it's also a very real sign that using the internet like this has a shelf life and has real consequences, takes a toll, and in essence is a drug. Again, this is about her Teigen feeling harassment. 2 months later, it's revealed she's the fucking prime offender telling a 16-year-old confused kid to kill herself. Oh, my God. No wonder why she's going back and doubling down on the apologies. Oh. Jesus. What an absolute disgrace. Well, keep in mind, we have the asshole of the day to announce in mere moments. And we have a lot of potential candidates there. Woody from Woody's Steakhouse could be part of that. Mike Ball for being so slow in transition. Asshole who drops pennies on his kid's front lawn as a final child support payment. Kenny's ex, who owes him $60,000. Mark Zuckerberg for trying to convince Roger what to buy his song. And, of course, the aforementioned Chrissy Teigen. Holy crap. Folks, I am on Patreon, and I want you to be part of it. If you think what I'm doing is fun and I'm putting my all into it, I would love you to join me on Patreon, where we give you more podcasting. It's just me. I give you more podcasting every single day. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Content going up all week long. Today, I've got the Patreon bonus at 11 a.m. I've got Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia at 10:30. All coming up on my Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane. Just $5 or $10 a month. Try it out. If you like it, convert it to a yearly. I'll give you 10% off on the year. If you don't like it, cancel it. You get the rest of that month. Just try it out. $5 or $10 a month. You're only out that if you try it and then like it. Then it's just a nice little donation to your old pal Eric. We can at least have that. But I will try to impress you and work very, very hard so that you like the content and will continue to keep coming back to my Patreon. Thank you so much. That is how I keep the lights on this show. So if you think, man, how is he doing this? It's because of Patreon. For the last 2.5 years, between the sponsors, the people who hire me on Cameo, the people who buy the T-shirt, people who sponsor me on Patreon, that's it. That's all I've been able to do, and I am proud to do that, and this is what I'll continue to do for as long as I can until I have to shut the lights off. Will it last forever? I don't know. I keep myself scared to death to keep moving forward. Patreon helps that dream become a reality. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you've ever been considering it, please, even if it's just for a few months, I would love that. Yes, I'm begging for my Patreon. I am not ashamed to do that, but I do put my heart and soul into that thing. So thank you so much. If you've done it in the past, thank you. If you'd love to, and I would love to have you back on it. Thank you to JM Synthetics. They distribute AMSOIL products. Jason Mays, right there. Call him 616-747-0233. The way you do it, go to jmsynthetics.com, pick out what you want to buy, and then call that number and say, Jason, I listen to Zane. I want to buy stuff. Send it my way. It'll arrive on your door. It's that simple. You can order it from the website, but it helps Jason the most when you actually do it the way I just suggested. Pick out what you want. I need a case of this. I need a case of that. I need this lubricant. I need this for my personal watercraft. I need this for my side-by-side. I need this for my heavy duty. I need this for my car. Then you call them. I need all that stuff. The next thing you know, it shows up on your door after you buy it from him. He is a local distributor of AMSOIL products, but you can take advantage of what he has from anywhere. jmsynthetics.com. You can also buy the stuff at Ionia Outdoors if you're in that neck of the woods. That money goes to Jason as well. Thank you very much to JM Synthetics. And then, of course, Joe Martinez of A&E Heating and Cooling. Just remember, if anything goes south with your air conditioning during these warm months here in beautiful West Michigan, this is who you reach out to. 616-516-8579. Call or text Joe Martinez, 616-516-8579. Make sure you mention you're a Zane Show podcast listener, and then he will know that you got it from me. That helps me. If you're thinking about getting a new AC setup or central air installed into your home, maybe for the first time, maybe it's a retrofit, call upon Joe. Go ahead and call anybody else about this too. Any other heating and cooling company. Just make sure Joe is part of that process. He will beat anybody. Get the AC tuned up from Joe Martinez. It's only $79. You should do that if it's been a few years. My gosh, you should have it done every single year. Your AC needs to be tuned up every single year. 616-516-8579. If you get a new AC unit installed, he's going to install the Remy Halo for free. That cleans the air in your home, that keeps circulating through, especially in the winter months. This is important so that any type of pathogens, bacteria, viruses, dust, particles, all that shit, it gets converted, believe it or not, I swear to God, into what's known as hydrogen peroxide plasma, which sounds really high tech, but it's true. And then those little hydrogen peroxide plasma molecules, they bind together and get bigger and bigger until they're big enough to get caught in the trap. And then you clean the trap every month and your air is cleaner. That's how it works. Okay. For some time, we have done the world famous asshole of the day. Brought to you by TC Paintball, tcpaintballgr.com. Book a party at TC Paintball today in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And also brought to you by the aforementioned JM Synthetics. Online at jmsynthetics.com. I am going to take a look to see who you guys think. And to be truthful, the hold on a second, I'll save that. I don't want to spoil it. Nathan says this podcast going to last forever. You're GD right, he says. Holy crap. Joey says, if you have to shut the lights out, you could always join the circus. You fit right in. That is a horrible dad joke. You folks need to know that Joey Williamson is going to join me later this week on the podcast. I am going to record a video podcast with Joey Williamson and Josh Raymond from Independence Pro Wrestling. Independence Pro Wrestling is doing a local show here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. That show is coming up on Sunday, the 27th of June. Joey, where is that show going to be? The Independence Pro Wrestling in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Because I am going to that with you. You and I are going to be together. We should even announce it. Let's see. Eventbrite. I'll link all this shit up for you. Okay. In fact, let's do the old screen share on this one. Because I like Josh. I like you. And I want you guys to have a good event. So any way that I can help you, it's my privilege. Look at these guys. Sunday, June 27th, 2021. Independence Pro Wrestling presents Road to Glory at Battle Grand Rapids in Comstock Park, Michigan. I know exactly where this is. $20 to get in. Front row is $25. Kids 12 and under, $10. Doors at 5 p.m. Bell at 6. For the first time in 2 years, Independence Pro Wrestling returns to the Grand Rapids area on Sunday, June 27th. Action-packed live event at Battle GR. 2 hours of exciting, interactive, family-friendly entertainment. So, it's going to be fun, but they're not going to be dropping F-bombs and bleeding all over you and, blowing snot on you. Please help us spread the word by sharing our event and be sure to like us on social media. I am all about these events. Okay? Now, I know people are like, oh, I don't get wrestling. Look, this is the way I look at wrestling. I was telling Josh about this yesterday. It's a show with athletes. And they work very hard to put these shows on. And I am all about the theatrics. Okay? There is no difference between watching a play than watching something like this. Okay? Except you've got people that are body slamming each other. Featuring Michiana champion and DTA leader, the Vehicle City villain, Aaron Orion. Is it Orion or Orion? Grand Rapids Zone zombie princess Jimmy Jacobs? What? Death threat Army member the Black Diamond Jack Price? Also death threat Army member the lovable psychopath Tommy Vendetta is going to be there, guys. And former IPW champion Josh Raymond, who I just mentioned. Josh Raymond, hold on a second here. There is some historicalness to Josh Raymond. Joey, didn't you send me an email about him? Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Just wanted to share some thoughts on Josh Raymond. Joey writes. Current wrestling coach at Paw Paw Middle School. Wrestled in Ring of Honor Wrestling against Christopher Daniel, the Briscoes, Mark and Jay, the All Night Express, Kenny King, and Rhett Titus. I don't know who the hell any of these people are. To some of you, this means something. The All Night Express, Kenny King, and Rhett Titus, Sean Daivari, Austin Aries, Colt Cabana, El Genrico, currently in WWE as Sami Zayn. The Young Bucks, current AEW Tag Team Champions. Kevin Steen, currently in WWE as Kevin Owens. On the independent scene, he has faced Bobby Fish, currently in NXT. Silas Young, currently in Ring of Honor. Zach Gowen, former WWE star. By the way, when Joey wrote this, he wrote, "Prepare to have your mind blown at this guy's resume." And then I read it and I went, yeah, my mind's not blown. I don't know who the fuck any of these people are. What are you talking about? Jerry Lynn, former ECW star. Buff Bagwell, I've heard of him. Former WCW star. To see you wrestling folks are way into it. This is all like big shit. I don't have any idea. Chris Hero, Sammy Callahan, currently in Impact Wrestling. Ricochet, currently in WWE. Chris Sabin, currently in Impact Wrestling. Matt Seidel, Psychosis, former WCW star. Cody Deaner. He was a regular on the MTV show Wrestling Society X. He's been partners and an opponent of current WWE star Seth Rollins and has made several appearances at Seth Rollins Wrestling School in Iowa. All right. There we go. So anyway, Joey and I will be on with dude Josh Raymond on Thursday. Stevie says, asshole of the day, restaurant owner. Tarantula Farmer says, child support penny payer. I say, asshole of the day is Chrissy Teigen. I might have tipped you off on the live stream there. Chrissy Teigen, you are the asshole of the day again. This story is actually getting worse for her, and I love that. Chrissy Teigen is your asshole of the day. Oh, what an embarrassment. Folks, I appreciate you so much. We will get to the Smarter Than a Former Drug Dealer trivia game in mere moments with Throat/Dale on Patreon. I'll check you out there. Do join me on Patreon. If you would, sign up, patreon.com/Eric Zane. If you're thinking about it, maybe, I don't know. I just like the free one. Oh, my God. Well, this is how I keep the lights on. Thank you so much in advance. If you do that even for just a month, sign up for a year, and I'll save you 10%. Thanks again, folks. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you further down the road. Eric Zane Show podcast is done.